Okay. And for you at this time, Gemini, the card I picked, and this is coming from the Earth Magic deck by Stephen Farmer, I pulled River, which represents movement. Okay, so being an air sign and being a sign of high mental capacity, this reading is calling for you to drop it down a little lower. Drop it down into the space where your emotions are and to literally go with the flow, like just like the river does. The river will, flow with its own current. It receives obstacles in different ways, but it will always pass them by in the end, right? Like if there's boulders or trees or logs in the river, it's either going to swiftly just move around them or crash with a big splash, but hop over them, right? And at times the river's very smooth, and at times the waters are a little rougher, depending on other elements. So, but always it's in motion, and always the river leads back out to home, which is the ocean. Back out to its in this Earth Magic deck, it calls it Grandmother Ocean, back to where it belongs, right? Back to, sort of its ancestry, if you will. So this guidance for you at this time is calling on you, Gemini, to discontinue fighting, resisting, or blocking the flow of life. Okay? It's very easy to say, not always easy to do. But when you drop down from mind to heart, or mind to, the space of your source, where your soul rests, then it's a little easier, because our minds are wonderful guides, but they are more like that sort of river guide that's trying to swim the boat upstream for a minute. They're not always in flow with what's there. It's really important right now for you to watch the resistance, breathe into it, relax, and as trite as it sounds, go with the flow. Okay? You can be an observer of things that are happening in your life and not get stuck with them, right? Just let them come and go. Even if it's intense emotions, you can observe them and move on. Okay, so let's get some extended guidance here from the Zen Tarot. Okay, this little spread, I just call it the tree. It looks kind of like a tree, I guess. There's 2 levels of branches, and then the top and the trunk. Your starting point, as it relates to getting in the flow of life, is the flowering card. So this talks about how this figure here just plants her seeds. She sends them everywhere, happily, joyfully, plants her seeds everywhere, and then allows them to grow, allows them to germinate and take root and blossom out, and is really in a lot of joy being able to enjoy, the blooms that come from the seed she's planted. Now, for you energetically, Gemini, we all have seeds that we plant, right? Every day we wake up and we have something that we long for, or we desire, or we want to achieve. Those are the seeds that we're talking of, right? And then what we do is we stop their growth by letting our minds say, but I want this goal, but I have to do too many things in order to get it. Or, I want to, I don't know, I want to be in a new relationship, but, who's going to like me or whatever. I don't know. I'm being very trite here, but you know what I mean. We have a way of stopping the flow, the natural flow of life, by shutting it down mentally. And like, we don't go out into the yard and plant a seed and put it in the ground and cover it with dirt, and then go out the next day and dig it up and say, forget it. You're not even blooming yet. And then dig it up and throw it away. Right? We wait. We're patient. We allow for nature to take its course. And that's what you're being called to do at this time, Gemini, is allowing for nature to take its course with those seeds you've planted. You know, they're there, your intention has been set, and your job now is to go along happily until they start to become little sprouts, right? And it's a practice. This isn't like, oh, suddenly now you need to shut your mind down and learn how to go along with it. It's very much a daily practice for all of us. And for you at this time, Gemini, this is just sort of a gentle reminder of the practice, okay? Internally, supporting the energy of this card of flowering and going with the flow is, look at what we say. Look at that. Patience. You must trust. We don't go, like we said, we don't put that seed in the ground and then say, well, where's the sprout the next day, and then dig it up and throw it away. Just as we don't tell the moon, why are you crescent and not going full tomorrow? Right? We know it needs to go quarter, half, 3/4. It needs to go through its phases. And it does every 29 and a half days. It goes through its phases and we allow it to be, right? That is the spirit with which we want you to shift as far as achieving goals or setting your intentions, is to set them, know them, acknowledge them, and let it go, right? Let the flow of life bring what it needs to bring to you in order to make things happen. In your external world, this patience and this sense of, planting the seeds and letting them grow on their own may create a sense of that you're just set far apart from your goals, that you are never going to get there. This little figure wants to get on the other side of that gate. He wants to be in the rainbow world, but he feels like he can't get over the fence. He can't get through it. He doesn't belong there. So he has to sit and long for it. And then what he doesn't realize is, if you look closer, the lock on this chain isn't even engaged. So all he needs to really do is open the gate and move through it. Okay? So there isn't anything separating you from your desires. Okay? Maybe a little bit of time, but what it is your resistance, that mental, and, as much as our minds are powerful tools, they can also go in the reverse, right? Like we can manifest like crazy one way or the other. We can manifest the good stuff just as much as we can expect that our goals will be blocked, and then we are met with blocks, right? So this is, I like the fact that, this is kind of where you are now and what you're needing to establish now in order to move forward. And this could be with big, lofty goals, or it could be with just the smallest thing. I want a little more communication with my children, or, I want a little more leeway at work with my time schedule because I have a hard time with traffic. And then just, put in the request to the universe and then allow it to, come to you. But it's putting in the request and then not hammering away at it with our minds. It's putting in the request and then letting that germinate, right? Just like a plant, just like the moon. I'm going to put in the request for the full moon, but I will have to wait, 14 or 15 days in order for it to come between each phase. But look at this, okay, the going with the flow. Okay. I'm loving this reading for you right now. I literally said it is as simple as going with the flow, even though it sounds trite. And then we pull that card. So come on, Gemini. This is totally about letting life come to you and not trying to swim upstream and go against the current. It's totally about, releasing the need to control it and allowing it to take you along, allowing every opportunity to show up and have you recognize it, and then let it take you on another tangent. This card, the position of this card, represents how to move forward, right? To your next phase. You've established that you realize it's going to take patience. It's going to take a firm intention, and then an acknowledgement that it's on its way to you, but you must let go of the resistance, right? And then the next step is literally let go of the resistance. Okay. So I'm loving this reading for you guys. It's coming out great. And the next step here, the next levels and the outcome. So the next realization, or the next level of awareness that you'll reach, is, first of all, your place in the universe, right? You own a very, very deserved spot in this universe. Wherever you happen to be physically in your body, that's your home, right? Because we are stardust. We're more than just these bodies that drive around in cars and live in apartments and homes or whatever. Wherever you are, you're where you belong. And there's an expansiveness to that not a lot of times we really tap into, but with this practice of, intention setting, letting go, letting flow, you will begin to really feel the greatness of, that great connection that you have to all that is, and everyone else around you as well. Within you, you may start to notice that you're able to slow down a little, to take a different pace. Going with the flow sometimes means slowing down. Sometimes it means letting it rapidly take you along to the next level. But in your internal world, in your connection to yourself, you're going to feel more ease, right? You're going to feel a more natural relationship to what life is bringing you. It won't feel like, oh, I really want to get a new car and I want it to be blue, right? And then, I think I said this in another reading, and then suddenly you get this opportunity to get a red car and you're, oh, no, that's not what. Well, you'll recognize it as, wow, I have this opportunity to have a car. It's what I asked for. And you'll either take it or you'll wait for the blue one, right? But that it's your recognizing the opportunities that life brings you, and then making conscious choices to either accept or let them pass you by. Let that flow continue, right? And because of this connection to the universe, and realizing that you are home wherever you are, and that internally you're finding more space and more ease within, then in your external world, you will begin to really be able to be fully present in each moment without having to sort of, first of all, without having to remind yourself, oh, be present. Let's be present. This will just become more and more natural. And this figure is also walking along a river. So I love the whole river water theme here. And walking on the little boulders that are taking him down the river. However, he's not looking down, right? He's actually just enjoy and knowing that the next boulder will show up when he needs it, right? And that's the spirit that we want you to sort of reach toward to capture, Gemini, at this time. Okay, and then the outcome of this reading, I like this. You will find that you are leaving behind that need, that feeling of, I'm just so all alone in all this. I set my goals, I do the work, and then they don't come, right? That's mind work, that's mental work. And when we're asking you to sort of drop down more into spirit and letting it flow, what you're going to get is, first of all, that practice of staying in the moment, letting life come to you. Home is wherever I am. You'll begin to get that more, and you'll find that you put behind that those walls that are built sometimes by our mental talk, our self-talk to ourselves, the isolation, being shutting ourselves out, which is like kind of this feeling, the outsider card, feeling shut out from what we want. You're going to, that phase and that practice that you may have experienced in the past will come to an end. And you'll start to rely more on your intuition to move forward and on what life offers you, which is that movement, that flow of the river.